Ready? Okay, they can clap. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Guy Podcast, and we have a very special guest today from the promoter from SCWA. Let's give it up for Josh Baroni! And also, please also give it up for Vince Gutierrez! Yes! Also, pro wrestler Charmin Biagio Casado! And also, let's also give it up for Oscar Salazar Way! Also, let's give it up for referee Mr. Bill Shoe! And the owner of the Wrestling Guy Podcast, please, let's give it up your host, Mr. David Golden!
Hold on. Why are you getting a little special entry? What the hell?
What happens when you own the store?
Oh, man.
How much you want it?
Wow. Thank you, Butcher, for that beautiful announcement.
Fuck the Butcher.
Yeah.
Ed wanted me to say that.
Hell yeah.
By the way, Ed wanted me to say that.
Butcher's my Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon, oh.
I ain't no fucking psychic.
By the way, fuck Ed anyway.
We're starting off pretty vicious already, huh?
I know. And I just want to say, come on, no Blog Talk Radio. I keep
No
you
Blog
posted, please. When I was in that other podcast, Wrestling Hits, I'm going to say it anyways. I don't give a fuck. If they have a problem, they can come up to me. But we used to have so much problems. Trust me, you're going to be losing hair.
You're gonna get the Canadian after me.
What about that Canadian? He ain't gonna do. He's from what? 3,000 miles away. He ain't gonna do shit. Even the guy who lives here, he ain't gonna do shit either. So, if he has a problem, he can come to the AWS if he's going to the show, which we all know nothing's gonna happen. But anyways, I'm done talking shit.
Well, thank you guys for coming. Oh man, Bill, you're here.
Yes, I am.
What the hell? Where'd you come from?
Well, I'm a referee for SCWA.
Woo!
Oh, there we are, SCWA. Come on,
I could have gotten you Butcher.
Oh,
referee.
He's referee, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a great referee. Right, Butcher?
That's if they can still step in the ring.
Is he better than Justin? Barely.
Last show we had 6 referees, so this show I think we have 2 referees, and we have double the matches. So we're doing good. We're doing good.
And I'm glad
I'll
Biagio.
just say this: Butcher can handle a whole show without having substitutes,
Ooh.
including weak knees over there.
Look, if I can keep up with 5 matches, I can keep up with any match.
You couldn't keep up with the $10 Booker.
This weekend I did 8 matches by myself. So
You can keep
Long Beach Boulevard.
That's a record.
Bill, now
Yes,
Long Beach
Look at it. This is a podcast in
look, if
itself.
I can
Bill
keep
and
up with
Butcher.
Mariah Marino, I can
That's
keep
right.
with anybody.
Oh, goodness.
I'm glad we have the
Depends
kids
on
out
what
here.
kind of keeping up you're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not going there. No.
I want to welcome Biagio because I owe him from the last time he was on the show. I wasn't here.
I know, man. You left me behind with this guy, man.
I heard you missed me.
I missed you just a little, just not too much.
Oh,
I
I missed you though.
You guys just hug it out.
I love it.
Hug it out.
Character.
and Josh, Vincent, welcome.
Thank you.
You guys have a big show this weekend. This Friday night at 8 p.m. Right? What's the main event for the show?
Main event is a tag match. It's Scorpio Sky teaming up with Douglas James to take on the tag team of Danny Limelight and Eric Watts.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Now, the SCWA was around a while back, and then it took a little break, right?
That's correct.
So where did it start from? How did it? Give me the history.
Well, before SCWA, we started in the park. We were wrestling in the park.
Backyard.
It was backyard wrestling, but it was in the park. Back at that time, there were like 3 or 4 other like little backyard federations. We all got together. We would travel and wrestle in theirs, back and forth. That's how I met. Back then, I met Sky. I met Chris Masters. Before he was Chris Masters, of course. He was 16 years old.
Mordetsky, right?
Chris Mordetsky. I met Prodigy, Kerry Bergloff, who wrestled UPW. Let's see. what other names did we have?
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
Oh, who's that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And the guys that were doing the ring crew guy, Leroy, who did XPW, and yeah, man, just a legion of that came together.
Othello.
But I felt that we were special because we were the only ones in a park, and I wanted to be super organized. I had that whole WWE kind of look thing going on. At first, it was called the VWWF, Vince's World Wrestling Federation, and after that, the guys started getting some training with Revolution Pro, and some of them started doing some UPW stuff. Right when that happened, I was like, okay, we got to get out of the park. We got to change our name. Let's get a venue, and that's when we met Johnny Hemp and the UIWA, I believe it was, and started having matches there.
Now, how do you go from backyard, like you said, from the parks, backyard wrestling, to doing a big show like what you're doing now?
Well, I started meeting other promoters out there and stuff, and I started attending independent shows. And when I did that, I met with other promoters, and I met Johnny Hemp. I met American Wild Child from Revolution Pro. They gave me ideas and stuff, and that's when I just started doing the ring shows, and the guys started training. If they weren't training with Rev Pro, they were training with Martine at WPW in Anaheim. And that's just where it took off, right then and there. And it took off fast.
Now, Josh, you're his partner when it comes to this show.
Yeah, I'm the booker. I'm
The
the one
booker.
that gets hold all the talent, tries to put the best matches possible together. We butt heads sometimes about who should go against who, but when it comes down to it, we come together and make the best matches possible, and for the fans, for the wrestlers, and just to entertain everyone.
Now, did you backyard wrestle too in his
I
family?
did.
Huh?
I did.
What was your backyard wrestling name? Come on.
My first backyard wrestling name was Insanity. My second backyard wrestling name was Josh Smooth. I was a lot thinner than I am now.
Whoa.
I gained a ton of weight, but yeah, it was fun. Also trained at Rep Pro too, when they were training Sky and all those guys, and it was fun. It was really fun. But
What was your backyard wrestling name?
Yeah, I Undertaker is my favorite of all time. So I took after him, and I named myself the Phenom. And so I would do the whole gimmick, and I'd have fireworks and the music. I'd have come out to Taker's music, and
Wow.
it was badass. And I was on the news, and there's stuff on Fox from Fox 11. They were called the Backyard Brawlers, even though we were in the park. But some good stuff on there. We had Othello. He was skinny as hell back then, and if you go see that footage, he was interviewed.
I wonder if you guys were part of that documentary I saw on Fox a couple years ago where Chris Daniels came down in the backyard and he just looked at everybody nodding his head.
So no, actually we weren't. That was actually that was another group. It was CBW. And there was some friends of Tommy Malice and Andre.
Okay, so you
UEW. Yeah. So I don't think the UEW name was on it, but I believe that it was right before UEW.
Yeah, because this is back in the early 2000s. I remember backyard wrestling was kind of a little huge. People were talking about them. Like I said, they make documentaries. I remember there was a video out there. It says backyard wrestling.
the best backyard wrestling.
Yeah, I
You were
saw that.
actually-
Maybe
you
a
were actually
video.
on that.
In a
He
video.
was on that. Masters was on Fox News. He was
Yeah.
on, a lot of guys, people don't realize, people don't want to believe it, started off backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
That's just the fact.
I also remember, put the camera on me, Rufus. I also remember there was a video game.
Yeah.
Austin Aries was on the cover.
Austin Aries,
Yeah.
Sick Nick Mondo.
Austin Mondo.
Yeah, there was a lot of, can't remember the other guy's name off the top of my head. But yeah, they made a DVD.
It was kind of huge back
It was
then.
kind of big. It was
Yeah.
pretty big. There was no wrestling schools back then that we knew of. I mean, there was Jesse's school, but
which was so far away.
Which was far
Nobody was
away.
right out there.
no one knew about it. But then out of nowhere, Rev Pro opened up, UPW opened up. and
Yeah.
WPW.
Everybody started training.
At the time, I was a teenager at the time, and I was a big fan of Jackass. So I was watching all these backyard wrestling stuff.
Still
it was
are.
making Yeah, I'm still a big Jackass fan. Johnny Knoxville, baby. Rest in peace. That was me. Ryan Dunn. But anyways, yeah, it was. I thought it would be something to see something like that, but it was kind of similar, using fireworks and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Diageo was probably like 10 years old when the backyard wrestling was going.
3. Worse than that.
I hope you're not my son, Diageo.
Yeah, we caught the park on
Probably
fire
were.
once actually. Leroy, the ring crew guy.
Yeah.
He came and brought his backyard fed over to the park, and when we did that, we started merging all of them. They would all want to come to the park because the park was like the place to be. The news was there, and it was just a big thing going on, and so we all came together. But yeah, there was a match where during his entrance, the thing caught fire, and oh man, all bad.
Your parents didn't have a heart attack because you were wrestling out in the backyard.
Oh, I mean, my parents always tried to get me to stop doing all that stuff. Even to this day, you know what I mean? My parents are like, when are you going to grow up, Vince? Like, why are you still doing that? They don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when you love it, when it's your passion, you're going to go as far as you can go and keep going. So, I mean, I took 14 years off, but I'm back. 14 years off promoting my own shows. It doesn't mean that I walked away completely from wrestling, because I was doing some other shows that were involving untrained guys, you know, in the marketplace, in other places and stuff like that. But we're back and going as professional as possible. Nothing but pros now. No backyarders.
Now, I'm going to get to that because there was some controversy from your first show, speaking of backyarders.
Mm-hmm.
We had a video that was going around. You came back after how many years to do the...
About 14.
14 years later to do a show, which was last month.
Yes.
Right.
And which was overall, which I heard was a very good show, until the match with Douglas James.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, what exactly happened? Because we've heard that it was just a bunch of backyard guys that were just thrown in the match. And were you there for that one?
Yes.
Were you there?
Okay, I gotta hear this.
So, all right, let's get your opinion.
Tomorrow.
What happened? What happened that caused all this? The video that we ended up seeing where
What
Douglas is just
happened
going.
is just a bunch of untrained guys try to get into a match with a trained professional, and it just doesn't work that way. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
You know.
And was this an idea you guys had to do this?
So
or-
actually, it was my idea originally to go ahead and put some guys that I had working with me when the SCWA, the inaugural 16 years ago, when we started back in 99, 2000, some of these guys had stuck with me, and they wanted to have their one last hurrah. You know, they're not wrestlers anymore. They're either one of these guys is a bigwig in the music industry. The other one is, of course, a 16-year-old who's my best friend's little brother who loves wrestling, and he's wrestled in rings and stuff, so he's had in-ring experience, but of course not trained. He was told that he needed to get training and stuff, and we just gave him that chance to do it one time. All these guys knew that this was going to be their only time in the ring. It was a rumble. I talked to other promoters. They said, yeah, you could put whoever you want in the rumble. It's not going to matter. So my whole thing was that they weren't going to be mixed with any pros. But Douglas James changed that. Douglas James came to me 10 minutes before the match, 10, 15 minutes before the match, and said, Vince, please, let me be in that rumble like at the beginning or whatever. I said, DJ, man, we talked about that earlier on today. You said you didn't want to be in the rumble if these guys were going to be in the rumble. You know, we had talked about it, and we basically came to an agreement that he was going to allow it to happen, and he told me that, like I said, 15 minutes before the match, he was like, let me go in there with them. I promise I'm not going to stiff them. I said, are you sure? I was like, all right, I guess. So what I thought in my head was I really didn't think he was going to go out and stiff them. I thought that he was just going to go out there and maybe a little lesson, you know, and I thought it would be good experience for these guys. I mean, if they're backyarders, that means they can take anything. You know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of like the whole backyard thing, right? Like when you're backyard wrestling, you can jump off a roof, you can, get slammed through 4 tables, fire, whatever. You know what I mean? You should be able to take it. You know what I mean? You should be able to take it.
Right.
And the guys that were in there that had been doing backyard for over 20 years, that are our boys, our friends, personal friends, you know, they couldn't take it. That's just the way it was. And it wasn't meant to be that way, but it happened to be that way, and it is what it is. So
how much? First of all, going back to you, if you were in that situation that Douglas James was in, would you have done the same that he did, or would you have felt disrespected? Maybe that's what happened. Maybe he felt a little disrespected
Yeah.
that these guys were coming in and
In
doing
a
a
way,
rumble.
yeah. I mean, that would go with anybody. I don't care who you are. You're my best friend. I train my ass off to get where I'm at, you know, and you know, I'm not gonna take that. You know, if you're untrained or not.
Right. And they knew what they were getting themselves into when they got in there.
Definitely.
Yeah, you should know exactly what you're getting yourself into if you're gonna be throwing with professionals. You know,
So,
it's just.
so none of you guys blame Douglas James for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
like,
no.
Not at all.
I've watched it over and over and over again, and personally, I don't think there was anything wrong with it. Just because you have to protect any business that you're in. If, like I was telling Vince, if this was football and they got some random guy off the street and to start at quarterback besides their backup quarterback, then you know the opposing team's going to kill him. That's just the way it is. They're going to be like, why isn't our professional getting a chance, and why is this random guy off the street getting no chance? And I agree. Want to learn professional wrestling and be in that ring? Train.
There's schools.
There's tons of schools.
Santino Bros.
Bros.
Underground. Professional school. EWI.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a question for you guys. When you guys did that with the backyard guys, did they sign a liability waiver? Because God forbid if something was to happen.
every worker and
Oh,
untrained or semi-trained was to sign a waiver, and they all signed waivers before entering the ring.
Yep.
Yeah. These guys have been in rings before. It's not like they, just being on that platform, SCWA, that they were on a show with a lot of professionals.
Yeah. The guy that came in second, his name's Keith. He actually trained WCW, was Willie Mack's tag team partner. He has experience, which some could tell in the match, some couldn't. The way he took Douglas James drop kicks, you kind of could tell a little bit that he has some sort of experience, but he hasn't been in the ring in a while. He wants to, everyone's telling him to, because he doesn't necessarily have the quote-unquote look, but I would compare him to like Cheeseburger. He kind of can get over with the fans. He's a little guy, skinny, get thrown around, and he has experience, but he just needs to get back into training.
No.
Dead air, guys. There's dead air.
All right, I have a question that relates to the last show.
You were gonna say something. Hold
I
on.
already talked to you guys about it like before on air, but just want to make sure if it's okay. But I'm gonna ask you guys now. That last show, you guys had some. There was a lot of fans that were criticizing because you guys ended too late. Like I want to say it was around midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So what happened right there?
Basically, what happened was we allowed the workers to go out there and do what they do, and basically we didn't give them set time limits.
We had no timekeeper.
That was we didn't have a timekeeper.
Yeah, that's going to change this show.
Okay.
We're not getting out of there at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning this time because it's just not right to the fans.
Yeah.
It's just not
And
right
you
to
can
the
bet
workers.
You got
Yeah.
my word.
We're definitely having a timekeeper. We're not letting any matches go 30 minutes long, 35 minutes long.
Yeah, because
That's crazy.
I heard like some people were like, man, they're in a bad neighborhood and it's hard to find parking in that area, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's with any UEW or UIPW show.
yeah.
Yeah, it happens like that at any one of their shows that they have there, or the other shows that they're there. But and I think that the area, it could be better. It's not that bad, but when you're walking down the street with a mask.
Oh yeah.
Like,
heard about that incident.
Yeah, when you're walking down the street alone with a mask, someone is probably going to come up to you and be like, "What are you doing?" Or whatever.
Yeah.
You never know. So you just got to be careful. I wouldn't be by myself walking around that neighborhood at night, especially at 12:30 in the morning.
No.
But yeah, we're going to definitely have the time limit set.
Yeah.
Be as professional as possible. Like I said, we're as long as each show that goes by it gets better and we get more professional and more organized and stuff, then that's our plan. Just get better every time. And of course, we're cutting the roster in half after this show. So what you see now, what you won't see in December on our December 3rd show.
Okay.
I have a question for Referee Bill.
Yep.
Bill, you're near 80 years. You're near 80 years old.
But
And how's your knees these days? Because I remember back in the days you would do some crazy stuff back, with refereeing wise. So how are you up to date now
Well,
with the younger guys, keeping up with the speed?
my
and
left
everything?
knee's a little messed up, but I wear a knee brace, and that doesn't bother me. I'm keeping up with the younger guys. No problem. Plus, I lost 37 pounds. I became a diabetic 4 months ago. I quit drinking,
Whoa.
so I'm staying in shape. I'm not training as much as I did before, but I'm walking, I'm eating right, and I'm drinking a lot of water and helping these two guys out. It's a great thing.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
We love it. We appreciate
That's
it, Bill.
So I don't have a problem. I mean, I did 2 shows over the weekend. I did AOW both days, Saturday and Sunday, and I kept up with all 8 matches both days. So, and the Rumble, 30-man Rumble.
Right on.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I just let you know I lost 50 pounds due to a health threat, and luckily nothing bad happened to me. But it's I understand. It's a tough, but I mean, I did what I had to do, and
And you did this with the Jenny Craig, right?
Yeah.
Nope. I did it all my own. I cut back on all the sweets, no sweets whatsoever. Being diabetic, you can't have the sugar.
Of course.
That's a real deal.
I just missed my Fireball, of course, but
Yeah,
but I enjoy what I'm doing. This is my passion. At age 62, I'm gonna admit 62. I'll keep doing this as long as my body hangs out. Once it gives out, I'll stay with promotions. I'll help these guys whatever they need, besides reffing, whatever they need.
All right.
All right. Next question. I see B-Boy's on the card. He's actually defending the FCW title on your show. Explain what's going on with that.
Yeah, so, actually, B-Boy came up to me and asked me. He said that him and the promoter over there for FCW, Gus, that they talked about it, and they just basically, B-Boy approached me and asked if it would be cool if he defended his championship here in LA at our shows. B-Boy's been with us since 2001.
Yeah.
B-Boy is a former SCWA World Heavyweight Champion. And, he wrestled guys like Frankie Kazarian on our shows. He's wrestled T.J. Perkins on our shows.
Yeah.
And B-Boy's always been with us, man. B-Boy's the man. He's our boy.
Yeah. So you guys talked with Gus, and he's cool with all the title defense and everything, right?
B-Boy talked with Gus.
Oh, B-Boy
and then
talked to Gus.
B-Boy came
All right.
to me. Right.
Shout out to Gus, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out. What's up, Gus?
What's up, Gus?
Got some
I
good
know.
stuff going down there. FC Dub.
FCW, October 8th. Get your ass over there
I'm gonna
if you're
be
in San
there.
Diego. You gonna be there?
Yep. You know how it's gonna go.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're all going to be there.
You.
We all want to see Danny Limelight and Eli Everfly. Definitely. I think everybody wants to see that. I mean, there was people came up to me and said, "Hey, Vince, why don't you book the match? Josh, why don't you book the match?" And we were going back and forth. Should we do it? Should we do it? Josh was more down for it, and I was kind of like, you know what? Things are a little shaky right now. I think if we do it, I'd rather do it later down the road. Let FCW, if they're going to do it. And I knew that they were going to do it. I knew that they were just kind of just playing along. And so it's good to go, October 8th.
Yeah.
And I hope to be there. Support FCW and my boys, Eli Everfly and Danny Limelight.
I want to, if you cameraman, you can pass me the flyer. I'll hold the damn camera. Fucking cameraman. I want to go the rest of the card. I see you got women out here on your.
Oh yes, got to have the women.
Yeah, you gotta have the women. I see you got Heather Moreau, which you can see a championship wrestler from Hollywood. If anybody's wrestling from Hollywood fan, you ever knows who she is. Or
Right.
Santino's. I saw her at Santino's over the weekend.
If you're local, Santino's, definitely.
Santino's, yeah. She'll be going against, it pretty much is a triple threat match. She's gonna be going against Thunder Rosa.
This will be her first time in a ring with Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. What?
Yep.
Fuck the butcher. That's Melina, but anyways. And then you got Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah, isn't that Shotzi's first time in LA wrestling?
No, I've seen her in AWS
Oh,
before.
okay. I've
Yes.
actually yet to see
Yeah.
for any of her local matches.
Yeah,
That's cool.
and I hope people can recognize her. She was on Tough Enough. That she was the redhead chick everybody's talking about.
Sometimes she's got green hair.
Now she has green hair now, but back then she had red hair.
Right.
And then I don't know. There's people who are saying it's controversial. She got kicked out. Did she really had a heart issue? I don't know what the heck happened, but
They seem to use that excuse a lot.
Really?
Down there, I'm hearing that a lot. I don't know why. seems like everyone's failing hard tests when they when they go down there and not get signed. It's really weird.
Well, you guys
But we got her.
we got her.
We
and,
got her. We're excited.
Yeah, you guys
Pumped
gotta,
up for this.
this is gonna be an interesting triple threat match. I mean, you guys gotta check this out. Also, I see a guy who was on Raw not long ago,
That's right.
Jarrell Nelson. He's be
Jarrell
going
Nelson.
against Jarrell Jacob Diaz, which I'm really familiar of.
That's correct. Jarrell Nelson, and he goes by, what's his nickname? that he goes
Vegan.
by? No, Jarrell Nelson. He goes by
The vegan Superman.
No, I'm talking about Jarrell Nelson.
Oh, Jarrell Nelson. Oh,
He
okay.
has a, what is it?
The what gimmick is it?
I'm not sure.
I have
He's
no
got it.
idea.
He goes by another.
I just know about Jarrell Nelson because I only watch his stuff in
His
Hollywood.
tights say it on his tights. What does it say?
Or
The
Vegan
whole
Superman.
the show, something show.
The whole.
No, not the the.
Not the whole fucking show.
No,
that's
no,
that's
no,
all
no.
for me.
No, fucking show.
Yeah,
I'm lost.
Damn.
I'm blank too.
Yeah, you're
The greatest show.
The greatest show.
The greatest show.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So you think his match with
The greatest show. Jarrell Nelson against the vegan Superman.
So
Jarrell Jacob Diaz.
Can I bring a toy that day? Can I bring an action figure that
You want to bring an action figure?
to the show?
Is it,
oh yeah.
is it a
Show it, show it, show
Can
it,
you
show
sign
it,
it
show
for
it.
me?
Braun Strowman?
Yeah.
Oh!
Wow.
I'm a bigger fan of Kane.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, but it's fine. That's fine.
We should be
I'm
roaring.
old school.
You're old school. Kane.
Old school.
Vader?
Old school.
Vader.
That's for Jarrell
I
Nelson.
want
right
Vader. Man, I want Vader on my shows.
Dude.
I'm saying if anybody can get out there and
Adonis
tell
and that
Vader, I want Big Van Vader right there in SCWA. Yeah,
Oh.
Leon White, come on down.
Yeah. And you know what? Another interesting booking you have here. I don't see that much booking from Othello because I know he's from Championship Wrestling in Hollywood, but I don't see him doing that much indie sport. You guys bringing him in again?
Yeah, he
with,
just
Terrence.
came back from injury.
Oh, yeah, he was injured.
was
He does
injured.
indie shows for Indie Hope shows.
Hope Indie Pro.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pro
shows
for
too.
Steve Payne and everything. Yeah.
Because this is the first time if I'm going to the show, this is the first time I see him outside of Championship Wrestling in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's
I
our
don't
boy,
see
man.
that often, you know?
Known him for a very long time. He's coming back to SCWA, giving back, as you would say, and we look forward to bringing other guys back that we've had since day one. 1999, we've had Othello with us, and so now he's back, bigger than ever, better than ever, bigger than ever, and we look forward to it. Just got married a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yep.
Did we
And
mention
Just to let you guys know, this was about I think 6 or 7 years ago. I body slammed him.
Yeah, right.
No,
I don't
really?
believe you.
Well,
I don't think your body's like me.
well, yeah.
Oh.
sure,
Might have to
right
show
now,
that footage.
Ah, yeah,
Edit,
right.
That was years ago, though.
Did we
Yeah.
mention the four-way elimination match?
Uh-oh.
The
What
four-way
about that one?
featuring Charming Beyond. Hey, when
What?
did we become charming again?
Again? What? I came back without even leaving. What are you
Hey,
talking
you know, last time he was covering his face. What the hell?
Time changes,
Yeah, I
people
know.
change at the same time. It's
I
okay.
remember he had a belt with him, too.
Hey,
Oh!
Let's go low.
I go there, okay?
I
I
got
gotta go back to that person. I guess I came back.
I have to say something funny right now about this photo of Eli Everfly. Ladies, look at that.
Look at that. Look at all the action you can get.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily have to be ladies.
I was actually on.
Damn! Eli's gonna fuck you up.
I'm not saying. I'm saying.
So
Why
listen,
does
the guys
why
like
does
Eli
it-
Everfly.
Thank you. I'm not saying.
I was
You know
on-
what I
I
mean?
was
Why
on
does it
my
necessarily have to be ladies?
I was scrolling
I'd be
through
mad if I got-
profiles the other day, and I saw it said there were these guys that were wrestling. I don't know if it's a gay wrestling company or something,
I
but
wanted to start a.
I'm telling you right now, I don't know where it is. Ty something is his name,
Dang.
and I
Music
saw
to
him
David
and
Pierce
like
now.
5, 6 other guys or whatever, and it said right there on the top. It said the hottest wrestler ever, Eli Everfly, and they had Eli Everfly match. No kidding, man. No kidding. But you know what? I always get the best looking guys on my show.
But why?
All right.
Why
When
is it an
I saw
insult?
this guy from the beginning, I was like, he's got the look, the theme music. I want him.
He's not hot.
So, oh,
He's charming.
he's charming. He's hot.
Big
He's got it
difference.
all.
There's a difference between
He's
charming
got
and
it all.
hot. Thank you.
He takes care of that. I take care of.
Yeah,
I get the best looking woman on the show.
That's true. That's true. Josh has got good taste.
What was
Women.
what was the insult that I gave Eli? All I was saying is, why does it necessarily have to be women? I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, like, a guy can find them very attractive and show up to the show just because they find them attractive.
Yeah.
I get a lot of my friends.
I guarantee you.
I have a
they
lot of
are.
my friends hitting me up
Yeah,
saying they're
it's not
coming to the
fun.
show. They want to see Danny Limelight.
Yeah, see?
A lot of my friends come. They want to see Danny Limelight. A lot of my gay friends. So yeah.
Well, I just want to tell people.
Can we go back to the four-way?
Yeah, there's a four-way. I was going to get to that. People could see Mr. Charming over here participate in an elimination match, which one opponent I'm not really familiar with,
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. I'm not too familiar, but I'm familiar with Devin Sparks. He's from Championship Wrestling Hollywood, the American Kaiju.
And Santino's.
And Koto Hiro, I'm familiar with him as well. So I'll just ask Biagio. So what do you think about this match coming up for this Friday?
What I think about that match?
Yeah.
It's like, everybody's going to go waste their energy on each other and do a bunch of moves. I'm just going to sit out and let them do what they want.
But that's how you do it on four-way.
And I'm going to come in and I'm going to prevail like I
But that's how you do it on four-way. Just
Like I always
chill.
do.
So it's an elimination match.
Elimination match, yeah.
So I don't know how long you can stand by and watch, but I mean, obviously, yeah. I guess if you stand by and watch, it's like a rumble, right? Like you wait till the end, and then three guys are eliminated, right? And then you're the last guy in there with whoever.
Of course.
So you're smart.
Hey, you know you should do?
Smart,
Sit down
smart
with
timing.
Deshaun 2 Cents. You know he's going to be there.
I'll chop it up with him. Hopefully he brings his hot tub with him.
Oh, that would be
Oh,
nice.
you go back and you be in the hot tub with
It's a nice
Deshaun.
hot tub, but I keep it in my own corner anyways.
There is nothing wrong with having a hot
As long
tub.
as I
at
got my
a
own little
show.
bubble.
I make my own bubbles inside. Oh yeah.
You know what?
Charming Biagio would be on.
That's what
I'm going to ask you, honestly, not to break gimmick or anything, but I'm curious. Is it hard to keep up with being one character at one show and then another character at another show and then another character at another show?
Yeah,
Like,
it's mind-boggling. It is. You have to just be really good at separating, your personal life between the gimmick. It's just all with emotion, It's just you're acting, It's not like I'm really that person or those people. You don't see me.
what
Look,
happened
I'm
to
charming,
kayfabe?
But other than that, it's just like
You're broken already.
It's dead.
See what you guys do?
Oh,
breaking
man.
the internet like always. But yeah, you just.
Well, it was more based on like as far as different companies, right? Different
Right,
promotions.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
How your character differs and varies from each promotion. You could be heel here, tweener here, face here, whatever it goes.
I know at one promotion he was wearing a mask
Wearing a
for
mask,
while.
right? And I love the mask, man. Love the mask. That's what got me to be like.
No, you're the one with
SCWA.
that weird looking mask, the lion mask.
No,
That's somebody else.
First
That's
one,
somebody else.
The Cobra?
Oh,
no, we're talking about Cara.
Cara
de
de
Leon.
Leon.
Yeah, that's somebody else.
Dark Cara. Yeah, that's the guy, man. He's cool.
I've always preferred myself Charming. I always preferred
Me
him
too.
with the mirror.
So do you like the mask better?
No, I,
Oh, so you like the
You don't like
mirror?
the mask?
I like the mirror.
So the mirror was
He
before
likes
the
his
mask,
face, put it that
right?
way.
I'm
He likes his face. Let's say it,
We're
David.
just turning this into the
I just get a
awkwardest
mask.
conversation we've ever had on a podcast. I just like him with the mirror, and then I just thought it was a good gimmick. It reminded me of the model Rick Martel, a little bit of
Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze.
dude, just come out of closet, man. Just that's exactly what I said. I said Rick Martel.
Rick Martel.
Yeah, definitely. That's
I just think, is that your favorite, or do you like wearing the mask?
No, I'd rather go with Charming.
Thank you.
Charming's way better.
Which one do you prefer as a promoter?
Well, to be honest with you,
Hey, people have their opinions.
I like both. But he was really, in my opinion,
I was talking about the character.
super over with the mask thing. I mean, yeah, me as a promoter,
Yes.
fan, everything. The mask thing was like really. He was at that point right there in UEW
That
when
aggressive
you were having
style,
that right, and the good feud that you had with
Tornado.
Jungle Boy, right?
Yeah.
Nate Coy, man, we're gonna miss him this show. I don't think we're gonna get any Nate Coy this show.
Yep, thanks to me.
Oh,
Thanks to me. Yay.
Send him up north, huh?
No, I don't know if we hit it, but I wanted to know, after the 14 years hiatus, what made you come back? It seems like we were in a drought.
So,
Wrestling and all.
Yeah, for like 3 years.
And
Yeah,
now
all of a
everybody's
sudden,
doing
like,
shows.
everybody's back.
Everyone's back.
Seriously.
Listen, you
Yeah,
guys have
this
no
is the
idea.
year.
I know stuff that you guys don't know. I'll give you a little insight in a little bit. But yeah, back to that match real quick. Vpocalypse, that's my boy. I want you guys to keep an eye on him because he is going to be something, definitely.
There's no doubt.
Second generation, his mother was his mother's former women's wrestler. She was a women's champion.
For WoW,
And,
right?
for WoW,
Yeah.
that's correct. And that was back in the day, of course.
Yeah.
But this guy he's awesome. He's awesome.
I'm gonna ask Josh because I think Josh knows this answer more. I think on Facebook people were requesting they want to see Sharky Blackheart.
Yes.
You can see, right?
Yeah. We asked a question of who people want to see in SCWA. A lot of people, a ton of people requested Shotzi, so I'm like, we gotta get her. We have to get her. We give the fans what they want. A lot of people requested Tito Escondido, Brian Taylor, Yuma, which will be there. Yuma will be on our December 3rd show. We just try to give the fans what they want. We try to give people matches they haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Not the same matches you can see week in, week out everywhere else. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we just want to separate ourselves from every other promotion.
Yeah, and camera guy, put it on me for a second. Oh, all right, I'm gonna just say
No,
they don't put the
you're-
camera on me.
You're a demanding little
I guess
fucker.
he's taking over your gimmick.
Shit.
He's taking over your
Right,
gimmick.
just point on Josh was in.
That's fine.
To get back to V-Apocalypse, back in 2001, he actually wrestled Matt Jackson, who was part of one half of the biggest tag team in the world, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks actually got their start with us, not us, Vince.
Man.
That's where they were doing backyard wrestling before they, blew up and went to PWG and everywhere else.
That's right. I heard about them. I went to their backyard and I introduced them to our boys. And basically, I told them, hey, come down to the marketplace, come wrestle with us, and they were interested. I talked to their parents. At the time, they were both under 16 years old.
At the time,
At least they were under 16. They had to be under 16. And so actually, all three of them came along. It was Nick, Matt, and Malachi.
yeah.
And
my brother wrestled too.
and it took off from there. They had a series of matches, and literally the last SCWA championship match that we had was at the marketplace, and it was our champion at the time, Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks, of course, defending the championship 2002 or 2003 against V-Apocalypse.
Wow.
Yeah. Back then it was V-Pop. Now it's V-Apocalypse. So, yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to go back to ask you that question I was going to ask you. Now that I got the camera on me, this camera guy sucks. All right.
I agree.
We also forgot to mention,
Getting a cheap shot from Bianco.
we forgot to mention, you guys have a special autograph sign-in before the show, right?
Yeah.
You want to explain to everybody about that?
From 6 to 7:30, we have Frankie Kazarian coming in, signing autographs for everyone that wants to be there. For $30, you get a front row ticket. You get a pic with Frankie. You also get a poster. And yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be nice seeing Frankie. I haven't seen Frankie in probably about 7 years, 6, 7 years. Last time I seen him was at Bound for Glory when it was in Irvine. I actually ran into his dad.
Oh, I was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran into his dad in the elevator, and he seen me I was wearing a Suicide shirt, and he's like, "That's my son." I'm like, "Yeah, I remember you from back in the day." And he used to go to the shows back in the day, and he still goes to the shows, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Supporting his son still.
Yeah, and I know it sucks is that due to his contract with Ring of Honor, he can't
We
participate
can't
in that
have
show.
him
Yeah,
wrestle.
I
We
know.
wanted
It
him
sucks, I
to,
understand it,
which
yeah.
would be awesome. He was a big part of SCWA too. Back in the day.
Yeah.
He wrestled B-Boy. He wrestled T.J. Perkins, who was Pinoy Boy at the time. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, hell, you never know how the future goes, you know.
We might get some of those guys back, hopefully.
In the future, maybe.
Maybe when the Young Bucks deal runs out in Ring of Honor, maybe they'll be back in SCWA.
Oh.
Right before the CWC,
hopefully.
right before the CWC Cruiserweight Classic happened, and they announced that TJ was going over there. I literally was on the horn trying to book him in a match against Eli Everfly, and that was the match that was going to happen at our last show. That's what I wanted to happen. I was going to make it happen. And literally, the day, I think 2 days after, the day after, they announced that he was
Classic.
right.
Yeah.
And it sucks. But it sucks for us. But we're happy for TJ. He's the man. He's the Raw man, cruiserweight champion.
Definitely.
I'm going to ask a controversial question here for Biagio.
Oh,
You know, I've been sitting here for about 41 minutes. And I noticed they mentioned Eli and they mentioned Danny. What happened to my boy Biagio?
He's got to put
I
that
don't
mask
feel
on
like
and
he
take
gets
off
a lot
that
of. I don't feel he gets enough.
Nobody mentions the charming one.
Yeah, what's going on there?
okay.
Like,
I told you, I want the
TJ,
mask.
but why
Fine.
TJ against Eli? Why not Biagio?
That's fine.
I'm high on this guy.
Well, Eli's has traveled the world now. He's starting to travel and get
October, I
booked
think.
other places and stuff. I know that that Biagio will be there someday too. I have faith in him. We have faith in him. I mean, we're very high on Biagio, and that's the reason why we invited him to be with us tonight. You know, because we knew that he was an up and coming superstar.
Do you get a little upset
No,
that they don't?
because they deserve it. Eli deserves it. He trains every day for like 2 years ever since debut. You know, so he deserves it. Me, I'm so young. I have so many years, and of course you can say that, right? And then life happens.
Yeah.
But I'm young. I know my time will come.
Now, what is the age difference between you and Eli? Is
Well,
it
Eli's
4 years?
23 and I'm 20.
Okay, so like 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
so don't buy alcohol. He's too
I
young.
don't even like alcohol.
Ah, okay,
He's gonna
okay.
live. He's
We're
gonna
good
live.
on that.
He's gonna live the CM Punk lifestyle.
I remember this kid. You will go back.
Yeah.
Mine,
Go ahead. Yeah.
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood was in Glendale tapings.
Oh shit.
We sat together in the front row. Ryan Morrows was on my left. Do you remember that?
Fuck.
And I grabbed your knees.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But anyway, we never knew that we'd both be coming into wrestling.
That's right.
I was a fan for.
That's when I met you, huh?
Right.
Oh shit.
I started as a fan when I was 10. But when he started, you were about, what, 13, 14?
14. Yeah.
14 years old. Look where he is now.
Doing the thing.
Yep.
I still have photos of you training.
Trying to.
I should like put that on.
That was like what, 2012?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, that was a while. That was
4 years ago.
See, I feel old already. Dang, I'm old, guys.
I know you guys talking about Santino though, but how's our boy Willie doing?
Willie from Santino. He's still not up in.
Referee
He's the
Willie?
referee,
Referee
yeah.
Willie.
Yeah, he's good. He's coming along very well. Yeah. So,
I just met him last week, and I confronted him after the show. I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, brother, like I saw you reffing. You did a great job,
yeah.
you know." And I told him to hit me. I gave him a flyer, and I told him to hit me up because I knew that we were going to be short-handed for referees this coming show. So I hit him up, and I haven't heard from him. So
Oh, he's good though. He's
Yeah, he's
he
doing
has a
good
good
as a
head on
rep.
his shoulders.
I was
yeah.
at
Oh, yeah.
Santino's over the weekend. He's doing good as a rep.
Forgot about my guy here.
Uh-oh,
He's a
forget
referee.
about one
My
person.
referee, the butcher.
Oh,
No.
He's a man of,
Huh?
come on.
of many caps.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
all right
Also
now.
ring announced, too.
He's the
Butcher,
catcher.
do you like to search people?
Do I like to search people?
Yeah.
No, I don't do security work.
That's what the referees do, right? Don't they?
Ring
Don't
announced.
the referees
yeah,
search?
pat down, pat him down.
pat it
Down, down, yeah.
Well, I remember Bill likes to pat the balls, right?
Oh, is that true?
You gotta be smart.
I'm going to give him a tuxedo match still.
We're going into that conversation again.
Here we are.
Okay.
Here we go. Why do we always end up going back?
Tell us.
Well, let's take a little break while I do a little plug here for AWS. Put myself there in camera because I love the camera. All right, wrestling fans, we got AWS Promotion Ladies Night. We got here this coming Saturday night, September 24th, 2016, of course. You have AWS Women's Champion. Who's the AWS Women's Champion?
Come on. Women's champion?
Women's champion?
Yeah,
Hudson
It's
Envy.
Hudson Envy.
It's Hudson Envy, of course, because her name's on the flyer. Of course. So I have to put. I just have to. That's why I have to call it out. But versus Nicole Savoy. Also, cheerleader Melissa versus Reyes. Lufisto versus Thunder Rosa. Then you have Laura James versus Shotzi Blackheart. And of course, you remember the lovely Buggy Nova will take on Holiday. That's one match I am looking forward to see. I love both of them. And plus, there will be a AWS traditional tag team main event. 5 women versus 5 men. Now, who are those 5 men, Mr. Gomez?
Hate.
Hey.
You know what? Tito Escondido, Ray Rosas, Rico Dynamite, Che Cabrera, And I'm not sure who the fifth member is going to be. It
You know, it takes
might be Peter Avalon.
Peter Avalon, yeah.
it takes 8 guys to carry that word hate. But I am the original hater because people really hates my ass, and I'm okay with that. So there, I just have to pull my own plug for myself.
Yeah.
Hey, you had your time, so shit.
Kiss my ass.
So David, that's what he wants.
I just want to see something small.
Also, you have the Pumpkin Queen, the lovely Sage Sin, and also Daldura, Kitana, Vera, Ashley, Grace, Tamara, and much more. And this will be taking place this Saturday at 7 p.m. No, 7:30. Strike that. Bell times at 8 o'clock. Address at the American Legion Post, 335 9535 California Avenue, Southgate, 90280. And do we sell the tickets here, David?
Yes.
And you can pick them up at 6085 State Street in the city of Huntington Park. That's the Wrestling Guy store. David, would you like to say something about Sabotage?
I'll get them at the end.
Hey, well, hey, I try, guys. I try.
I just want to see Ray's kick Tito Escondido.
Well, I just want to say I'll be there on Saturday, and I know I'm right now wearing a Jay Lethal shirt, but I'll be wearing a hate shirt out there. So I gotta represent the dudes. So and I'm a dude, so I'm sorry. I had to. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, Ray.
I'm gonna go back to my question about the 14 years because we went back to the speaking of AWF. Because now you do have a lot of competition back now.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
like you guys all came back.
I
at the
wasn't
same
expecting it when so the idea was, the idea for like the last 6 years, I kept telling Josh and telling the boys like, okay, we're gonna do a reunion show, just one show. We'll just do a reunion show, get all our guys back together, put on a couple big matches too. But the idea was to have a show with untrained guys. That was the idea, and it was going to be, the thing was is just contacting everybody from the past, seeing where they were at and stuff was just impossible to do. Guys weren't around anymore. So I just said to myself, well, you know what? I'm doing good right now, financially, better than I have in the last 13 years. So it's time to bring back what I love. There was no reason not to. I think I got the idea after I went to a couple indie shows this year. I went to the Grindhouse show. That was my first show back, and I did some referee work for them. That's where I met Terex and Eli Everfly and Haas Hogg and the Study Buddies and stuff. And then I went to a couple more shows after that, and it right there I was just like, I got to do it. Hit up Josh. He's like, let's do it, man. Let's do it. So that's what happened. Not very much preparation. So stuff has been thrown together last minute, and we haven't had a lot of time to organize our events and get things together. But I said, you know what? If we're going to start it and we're going to do it, let's do it. And so we're doing these 2 shows. We're going to take 2 months off, come back in December, and go from there. Hopefully we can do shows like every couple months.
Did you expect the competition that you have now?
Did not at all.
But you've been accommodating, right? Because you were going to run originally this Saturday, and then when you saw that they were going to have another show Saturday, you pretty much said, you know what, I'm not going to try to compete with anybody.
Yeah, so you did know about that. That's right.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not going to lie.
you. I mean,
I thought about it. I actually thought about going head to head. I thought about going head to head until I was told, hey, that show's sold out. When I found out the AWS ladies show was sold out, I said, okay, no, let's not do that. I don't want to get on that level with Bart or any other promoter out there. You know what I mean? Especially since we're just coming out, we want to respect the calendar, and that's what we're trying to do. And I want to do in the future is respect the calendar, the SoCalUncensored.com calendar. And much love out to Mike Orpiza and the guys down there.
Shout out to SoCal Uncensored,
promoting us
everybody from there.
And doing a good job, doing a great job.
Dudes.
How important is it for both you guys not to step on any other promotion's toes?
I think it's very important. I'd rather work with other promoters and co-promote with other promoters. It's just good for the business. It just is. Not to have any hatred towards people or anything like that, because I've seen that in the past. I used to help Henry Luna with Golden State Championship Wrestling, and just, when promoters can't stand each other, it affects everyone. It affects the wrestlers, it affects everyone. It's then their relationship. Friendship, who the hell do we work for? If I work for him, can I come back here?
Yeah,
things of that sort. It's just not good.
That is ridiculous.
So true.
It's like my show. Mine's put on hold. I can't get the venue now. for the whole year next year.
You still have a show?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, you're funny.
Oh.
Anyways,
I didn't know. I honestly thought I haven't heard anything.
Well, yeah, we can talk about it.
TWG was actually going to go on more next year, but now I found out they rented the whole hall for the whole next year
Wow.
to weddings, and I can't get in. The only time I could get in on Sunday, but that'd be a bad time to do a show because I can't get in until after 3 o'clock.
Well, we talked about possibly doing the show together.
we can do cool.
So yeah, I'm open for something like that, and with even other promoters too. I actually was gonna contact Gus and see if there was something we can do down there with him one of these days in the future, of course. So yeah.
I mean, I've got some
maybe.
talent I want to bring in, like the hardcore kid. I want to bring him back. But, you know.
So there's other promotions coming up too. I mean, how many
You got a
promotions
lot
do we
of
have coming out
promotions.
that are not even out yet that are coming out?
Yeah, Sabotage Wrestling,
Okay.
which is on October 7th.
They got all of SCWA support. We love Thunder Rosa and Brian, of course.
Yeah.
They've done a lot for us, and we're willing to continue to work with them and hope to co-promote together.
Now, this is a good thing, though, for you, right? To have all these promotions
Yes.
back out because now you get more exposure.
Definitely. I'm glad that happened, you know. Either way, I would have had, it would have been more difficult for me to go make my rounds to go wrestle different promotions. So, good timing. Good timing.
We gotta get you out of the country.
I gotta get myself out. Shit.
Mexico.
Mexico.
You got your passport, right?
Canada.
Not yet. No. One step at a time.
Would you like to do Mexico? Is that like
Yeah,
where
I
you
want
want
to
to go?
everywhere. Not right
Japan.
Come on, guys, don't give me any ideas, man. You're
Yeah,
just gonna tell me
you're
one of
really
these
gonna-
days, hey, Vince, I'm not available for your show. Be like, what?
I'm
Come on
out of
now.
state.
Now,
Signed with you.
Come on now.
without mentioning any names, I have a guy that is interested in doing one of your shows. But how does somebody, if I'm a wrestler that's up and coming or whatever, how do I let you guys know? You know, hey, I want to do one of your shows, yada yada yada. And what do you guys look for before you book them?
What do we look for?
Me and him look for things differently. He's more into the cruiserweights. I'm more into what I think two people, you know, what two wrestlers would go good against each other. You know, I'm for everything. I like strong style. I like cruiserweights. I like high flying. I like everything.
Josh watches a lot more wrestling
I watch-
than I do.
yeah, I watch
I
a
get a
lot.
chance to watch like Raw and SmackDown, so I'm like the, you know what I mean? I'm the
Yeah,
guy
I
with
watch
the-
it all. I watch.
and making the decisions. But he watches, you know, he's the big wrestling fan, and he knows about all these styles. He knows about all the names out there. So he'll come to me with some names, and I'll ask him about names. If I hear, you know, from somebody else about some names, I'll go to him and say, hey, what's up with this guy? You know, who's he good with? Who's he wrestled? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm more, you know, down for the cruiserweights, the young talent, up and coming talent, but not against booking veterans at all. You know, we have veterans on our shows.
I like a mixture of both. Like I think you should mix veterans with younger talent, and you know, of course, bring in bigger names, but not too much. Not to give the younger talent more of a like you know, chance to shine, pretty much. That's what we plan to do.
That's what we've always
That's
been about.
what we've always done. We've done that with, you know, the Young Bucks, TJ, and everyone. Gave them their chance to shine, and yeah.
I don't know a lot of the history about a lot of the companies out there, but if you look at my company and you look at the names that have come through that started out with us, a lot of them have gone to WWE. More than probably any other organization that I could think of locally that I know of, except for EWF, of course. EWF's a platform for, and has always been platform number one for, you know, getting guys trained and going
And signed.
to the big promotions. So that's always been Jesse's the man.
Now, this show is on Friday night at 8 o'clock. You have the meet and greet before that.
We're asking people to come early
Yeah, definitely
because
come
we're
early.
dealing with the time limit. We got the
Yeah.
parking, we got the signing, we got 9+ matches,
That's
and some good time limits, of course.
shows up.
So yeah, I mean, we want you to get there early because as people know, that last show we even started at 7:45 with our first match, with a dark match. It was out of nowhere. We had Adrian Quest and Nate Coy. So we want to do something like that also at this show. We have some good stuff lined up for the beginning. I'm not going to tell you who, but
Do you take an intermission?
it's going to be an intermission, but there will be it'll be like 10
10
10
to 15
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as how getting a hold of us, the SCWA page on Facebook, also on Twitter, Instagram, or you can just contact either one of us on Facebook on our personal page. I'm Joshua Andrew Baroni, and his is
Vince Christopher Gutierrez. Yeah, I think the best way is probably the SCWA page, but I've kind of figured out that you have to put in the whole HTTP :
yes,
www.facebook.com / SoCal Wrestling Alliance. SoCal Wrestling Alliance, but put the whole URL in there so that you can find it easier. Because there's a few other SCWAs out there, but they're not like legit. They're not the real deal. There's one is a water company. The other one is like a wrestling company that never happened or whatever. So, yeah.
Who's out of all these guys? No pressure.
Okay.
Who's the guy to watch?
As
Who do you
far
think's
as
the next
up and coming?
like up and coming? That you say you have a lot of guys that have gone to go to WWE Ring of Honor and such. Who's the next guy?
Well, I mean, Joel
It would be
Nelson's
charming
there.
if you
I
mentioned
think
a
that
name.
Joel Nelson.
Hey,
I think
hey.
Joel Nelson's already there. It's just a matter of time. You know what I mean? He's
Future.
he's getting booked everywhere right now. Of course, Tyler Bateman is. We already know. He's the SoCal Rookie right now of the year, isn't he? Or like runner-up for Rookie of the Year.
Tyler Bateman.
Rookie of the Year, or runner-up, right?
No, Douglas James.
That's
Was that was in 2014, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Douglas James is 2015.
2015. Well,
Yeah.
last
Tyler
year.
Bateman's a vet.
But I would say
Tyler Bateman's a vet.
I would say between Tyler Bateman, Jorel, Douglas James, amazing talent. You can put him in with anybody, and he's
Didn't catch my
it's
hand.
great.
Didn't catch my hand.
Well, you haven't talked to me yet.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this guy's gonna.
It would be charming if I said a name.
He's definitely
Next Cruiserweight champ right here.
He's going to be a star in my opinion. I'm not just saying this because he's here. I've always watched his matches before, and he's great. Douglas James reminds me of Austin Aries. I think he'll be in WWE one day. Scorpio Sky not being in WWE is crazy because that guy is one of the most talented people I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't understand how he's not in WWE or Lucha Underground.
Or Lucha
He was in
Underground.
TNA for a bit.
Yeah, and
You had Paragon one time already? Scorpio?
Probably.
Yeah.
Also Quest. He reminds me a lot of TJ, and he was actually trained a little bit by TJ. He got, once he grows into his body and gains a little bit of weight and stuff like that, I think he'll be signed as well.
So is Douglas James on that weight? Where is he with the whole weight thing? Is he cruiserweight, or is he like in between? Or
I think he'd be in between now because WWE changed the weight limit on the cruiserweight.
It's
so he can do
205
both?
now. Yeah.
I think he would be.
Cruiserweight, okay.
I think if he loses, I think he's a little bit over the 205.
A little bit over?
If I'm not mistaken. Or he might be right at that.
See, Josh is over here talking about the cruiserweights, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, and that's good. That's good because he does talk about them too. You know what I mean? He talks about all of them and where he thinks they are and where they can go. And yeah, I mean, Biagio, you awesome talent, man.
Thank you.
Awesome talent. That's why we got you.
I got a quick question. I got a quick question for Biagio. We're talking about cruiserweight. Did you? I'm sure you did. Did you train also with Brian Kendrick? Did you ever have
Once or twice.
What was that like for you? I mean, and then now that he's back with WWE.
It was so great. I love being and training with him. It's the ambiance, the vibes you get with his people. It's so great. I love training with Ken. And I was like once or twice, but I would love to train with him again. But
Now, is he still going to be around still now that because I know
his schedule is going to be a little tight.
it's going to be a little more different.
It's gonna be a tight ship.
I have one question, and before we wrap up, and this is for you, Biagio, is you see T.J. Perkins, who just got signed to now he's the Cruiserweight champion. You see Brian Kendrick from SoCal that's just back. Now that you're seeing all these SoCal guys getting signed to like WWE, How does that make you feel? Do you feel like now you have a better chance? Because before it seemed like there was a drought. You weren't seeing too many guys from this area.
Chance, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it make you feel like a little more motivated, a little
Bust your ass
more?
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just all the time. I just got to get bigger in size. You know, I'm obviously.
You're only 20 years old. It'll get there. Trust me. If you put your heart into it, it'll get there.
One day.
One day. Can we see you in the?
Not the Bill Shoot weight, but you'll get there.
Hey.
Can
Take
we?
it easy there. Take it easy.
Can we see? You think is that your goal?
I would love to.
CWC.
Oh my God, my goal. Yes, that is. Hopefully as soon as possible. You know, maybe next year. I don't know, 5 years, 10 years. Hopefully not 10 years, but only time can tell.
And you guys can put another feather in the cap because that would be another guy that got
That's
signed.
right. Gosh.
Well, before we wrap up here, I would like to thank Biagio, Josh, Old Man Bill, who didn't say much. Well, he did tell us his promotion's still alive, thank God.
It is.
Because I was like, where the hell did it go?
No, it's still there.
Vince, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Let me make sure to give you guys one more plug here. September 23rd, 926 Slayla Avenue.
One day away.
1 day away. It's Breaking the Barriers, SCWA. The main event is?
The tag team match. You got Scorpio Sky, Douglas James against Eric Watts and Danny Limelight. And that could be the last time that you see Danny Limelight on a wrestling card in years. So
Possibly
definitely, he's putting that out there on Facebook right now. It could be his last match. So
It's going to be a busy weekend, so make sure you guys check it out this weekend. There's still tickets available. Tickets available at the door.
yes,
At the door, also PayPal, SCWA Entertainment at gmail.com.
So make sure you guys get it. So it's a packed card: Scorpio Sky, Douglas James versus Danny Limelight, Eric Watts. You have the FCW heavyweight title match with Tyler Bateman versus B-Boy. You have Jarrell Nelson versus Jarrell Jacob Diaz. You have Othello versus T-Rex. You have Adrian Quest versus Eli. You have Heather Monroe versus Thunder Rosa and Shotzi Blackheart. You have Biagio versus the Apocalypse versus Devin Sparks versus Kodo Pyro. You have Haas Hawk with Captain Comic-Con versus... Man, Captain Comic-Con is still around.
yeah.
Versus Darwin Finch, Joel. Be careful, we will leave this guy at home.
For sure.
Joel Nelson, that is.
And don't forget, of course, the autograph signing. Frankie the Future Kazarian, Ring of Honor. He's coming here back to the SCWA, coming home.
And that's at 7:30.
That is at 6:30.
7:30.
6 o'clock to 7:30.
Isn't Rock going to be here in a couple of weeks?
Raw's here October.
October 2nd, 3rd.
Will he be there? I want to know if he's going to wrestle Ross Strowman.
Oh.
We have to watch.
He tossed all over.
You'll take it, though. You'll take it.
Can we see this?
Put it together right there.
Also, if you don't get your fill on Friday, you also have Saturday. You have the AWS Ladies Night. Tickets are still available here at the Wrestling Guy store and at the door, and that is at 9535 California Avenue in the city of Southgate. Doors open at 7:30. Bell opens at 8. And on October 7th, one of your guys is partnering up with this promotion.
That's right, Sabotage Wrestling.
Sabotage Wrestling. You get to see Taya. You get to see Thunder Rosa. You get to see some of the girls from Japan, Mexico, Brazil. I mean, they're coming from all over the damn world. And those tickets are on sale here at the Wrestling Guy store. You can also go on their Facebook and get the link for Sabotage Wrestling. That's Friday, October 7th, 2016. The doors open at 7 p.m. and the matches start at 7:30. That's 4315 North Vincent Avenue, Covina. And then I would like to thank our sponsor for the show. From now on, it's PCW, November 12th, the Oak Street Gym in the city of Torrance, 1780 Oak Street, 6 o'clock. You get to see RVD versus Pentagon Jr.
Oh, yeah.
for the PCW Championship.
I'll be there.
You didn't mention this coming Friday's meet and greet.
Yeah, this Friday, for those that don't get to go to the meet and greet for
AWS.
Frankie Kazarian.
Frankie Kazarian,
right?
thank you. You have the ladies here, Taylor Hendricks and LaFisto. We'll be here from 7 to 8 p.m.
Hope we can get some of them to come to the SCWA.
Yeah,
show.
send them over there.
Oh,
They
yeah.
won't miss much. I mean, you know.
Yeah. You know what?
So-
I'm going to do something. I know they're going to come. Josh and Vincent are going to hate me for this, but the first person that tweets SCWA, they're going to give you 2 free tickets to the show.
Ooh.
First person that tweets him right now.
Give him a ticket.
Friday. Not Oscar. He doesn't count.
Come on.
Members from the podcast do not count. And then Saturday, also this Saturday, September 24th, we have Ryan Nemeth, which is Dolph Ziggler's little brother. He'll be here from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. signing autographs of his book Hard Body. And then on October 15th, we'll have Phoenix, and he'll be joining us on 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we also have Sunny on Sunday, November 5th.
I hope she wears something.
No bed included.
I hope she wears something appropriate.
She will wear something appropriate, but there's no bed included. I know you're heartbroken. I know you wanted her to bring a bed.
All right.
I was hoping.
I've been waiting.
SCWA loves the wrestling guy store.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hope to be back one of these days.
We're gonna hold you to that. We're
All right.
gonna bring you back before every show. How about
Maybe,
that?
maybe
That'd be
before
awesome.
December, you know?
Awesome.
Maybe before December.
Right on.
If you bring in someone like Paul London.
I mean, I was hoping that we'd have our other guest here who wanted to put Biagio through a table. But unfortunately, the Apocalypse told me he was going to put you through a table here.
Damn.
He was scared
That
of
would
you.
have been chaos. But
He's not here.
so
He was scared of you. You see?
Scared of you, man.
Arm scared of
Right,
me.
see?
Maybe
It's not gonna
maybe that's what happened. But Friday night we'll find
There
out.
are going to be no tables.
If you still need a manager, I'm available.
I'm good myself.
And so then Spark, you're the real American Kaiju.
Evan Sparks.
You see what happens, Coach? We get no respect here. Well, for all of us here at the Wrestling Guy Podcast, thank you for joining us tonight. Make sure you guys check out SCWA Friday night, September 23rd, 8 o'clock, 926 Clayla Avenue, Breaking the Barriers.
Come early.
Come early. We are out.
Come see
He
some
doesn't want
awesome
me.
talent.
Bye, Butcher.